stage fright is an inside job because the fright is not on the. They call it stage fright, but the fright is not on the stage. It's in your mind. It's a mind coming from an ex-chronic stutterer. The game of public speaking is won or lost before you open your mouth. You deserve to win.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I'm fired up today. Why am I fired up? Because my guests and me are going to break the internet. Well, I'll have them tell you about that once we get started here. Literally, be prepared because we're going to break it in such a good way. Now, part of that is we dedicate this podcast to exploring the idea of how to be a better servant, how to serve others, your business and life, and what impact you make. That's part of breaking the internet. The other part is our guests are going to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you how to break the internet. And we're going to talk about public speaking and how powerful your voice is. I want to think about your homework today. Yeah, you got homework. It's really simple. Think about how you're going to serve yourself and others today that will impact you create today. Don't wait. Because I guarantee you, my guess is the same way. When we serve people, it's the best feeling in the world. You're down and out, go serve somebody. Go serve your dog. I don't care. Give value, serve people. I want to thank our sponsor, Pantheon. Join a community of thought leaders and entrepreneurs who are really successful. They're building this platform to change and impact the world. To be part of Pantheon, just reach out to me or check the show notes for the link. With that being said, let's jump right in. Sly, welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Steve. Happy to be here. Thanks so much.
How are we breaking the internet?
We're breaking the internet with the first by applauding you, the listener. Thank you, Steve, for putting this on. Applauding you, the listener. I was thinking about you. Anyone last night, okay, I was in the shower, rest my hair, thinking about anyone in the world, considering everything you have on your phone, all the stupidities you could be looking at. There is a show called Serving or Business with a Servant's Heart. When you see this and you self-identify as, I, as in you, have a servant's heart and I'm in business, meaning you're an honest entrepreneur. You actually care about your clients. You want to do good. Wow, what a concept. Let's actually help our clients. You, my friend, listening to this show is for you. We want to make you more persuasive. We want to make you win. The whole thing is about making honest people, business owners with a servant's heart. I don't see it any better than this. Win in life, in business, on stage, on camera, in meetings, wherever you have to make sounds with your face to cause people to feel like doing the thing you want them to, whether that's buy, click, vote, swipe, download, stop smoking, stop putting plastic bags in the whatever you want them to do. You deserve to win. This goodness you have in you that forces you to wake up in the morning, kick butt, take names, get punched in the face, get up again, fall on your face, get up again, and keep going. Somebody needs to applaud you. So this is it. Just
Beautiful.
You as is with nothing else. Let's get you winning.
It's a beautiful message. That leads to, people with public speaking. And to me, private speaking too in your life. What inspired you to do that?
Man. Oh, Steve, first time I hear the word private speaking, I love it so much because now I help people crush the stage, okay? Public speaking and have six-figure days from live and virtual stages. Public speaking. Speaking on podcast, public speaking. But I love the term private. I could not even speak in private before. I spent decades as a chronic stutterer. In French, un bec chronique. That means I could not even make a damn sound with my face. Like that in French. And now I'm coaching international keynote speakers, national trainers, and TV hosts in English. What happened there? So first time I hear the word private speaking. Man, stuttering and confidence is an insight. Like in my case, if you're listening to this, my dear business owner with a servant's heart, and you're not at ease getting on stage. Confidence is an inside job. Stage fright is an inside job because the fright is not on the, they call it stage fright, but this fright is not on the stage, it's in your mind. Now, as a stutterer, my voice box was okay. Then a trauma happened at school. Then I chronically stuttered for 20 some years, and then I stopped. The whole time, my voice box was okay. There's nothing
Hmm.
wrong with the body, it's in the mind. Your sense of self is so scrunched down. Your go kart is throttled. You know, Steve, when you go to go karts, right? You
Yeah.
go to go kart, right? When the kids are playing with the go karts, they throttle. So even when you floor it, the thing that goes to the valve that puts in fuel and air in the thing, it's throttled. So it only maybe 30% speed or whatever, even when you floor it. So your sense of self is throttled by the trauma, the being laughed at, the what are they going to think, try to impress, fish for compliments, wondering if you're good enough, losing sleep over preparing your second guessing yourself and redoing your slides the night before. So you lose sleep and then you bomb because you didn't sleep well, which reinforces the cycle of, see, I told you I sucked at this, puts you in further in a small sense of self. It's an inside job of undenting your sense of self from the inside. Back in the day, right, Steve, remember the good old days when cars used to have metal fenders?
Oh yeah.
You get in a fender bender, you take it to the shop, they go from the inside and they undent the damn thing. Paint job, good to go. So now people start with a presupposition, a bottom line fact of life of, I suck at this, which is terrible to start with. A lot of times, starting at 7, 8 years old in school, hey, you suck. You take it personally. In the solar plexus. At 7 years old, you don't have the dissociation capacity of knowing that you are an eternal soul embodied for a little while. You don't know that you are consciousness or that you are a higher mind somehow in charge of a limited body for a while. You think you are the body. So whatever the body feels and is humiliated, it's me, it's personal, it's a thing. And then you grow like a tomato plant, crooked and bent all the while like this. So then you show up crooked and bent, expecting pain in a shitty state. And then you do a presentation to try to be persuasive to get them to buy your stuff, and you wonder why they don't buy. That's because you're coming in with a weak frame, with a weak performance, and you're asking for it.
Yeah.
So to have people there, my dear, honest business owner with a servant's heart, if you think somehow that words are going to make you confident, as I was saying with Steve in the pre-show, they've been teaching public speaking courses since at least the sophists in ancient Greece, thousands of years ago, which is, here's what you say, shut your face, memorize that, say it like that, you'll be confident. So then the best thing that happens is you now become confident in those memorized lines for a specific number of time, and then you go practice, also called public humiliation. Go and get laughed at enough to thicken your skin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's if you don't address the underlying confidence issues. It's a mind game, people. Coming from an ex-chronic stutterer, the game of public speaking is won or lost before you open your mouth. Once you open it, it's too late.
Yeah.
So if you somehow think that words are going to make you confident, which confidence is the goal, and it's not been working for thousands of years, Steve, I don't know. Maybe. Could it be? I'm just, hypothetically, wouldn't want to point fingers, but maybe. The order's been wrong for thousands of years, and that's why 70% of the world's population are so terrified. I had a guy telling it to me the other day. It's like an expression, but he said it verbatim. I would rather die than speak in public. So now you can't blame the public speaking industry for teaching you what to say and then telling you if you just memorize that, you'll be good to go. Shut your face, go practice, because that's just business sense. It makes sense. It's the easiest thing to cheat. Messaging is the easiest thing to cheat. That's the formula. Shut your face, go practice. You get laughed at. First 100 times, you're just practicing. You'll be good. There you go. Get
Yeah.
out of my face. Next. It just makes business sense. That's because they don't know, or they haven't studied, or they haven't been keeping track that internal personal development tools have evolved at least as much as phones since the 70s. There's new stuff around, people. That wasn't around when the classics came around. So, step one, like, honestly, think about this, my dear, honest business owner. Do you really think that persuasive, charismatic people with presence on stage, do you really think that they're confident because they know what to say? Or maybe do they always somehow land on their feet and figure out what to say because they're confident to begin with? So, wondering why you can't speak with confidence, even though you memorize some lines, is literally like putting your shoes on before your pants and then wondering why you can't walk on stage with confidence. Take it for what it is, but I just want you to stop suffering.
What's your system look like? I know it's unique and different, powerful because you're very successful, the people you work with. What's your system look like to give them kind of the cliff notes?
You're not allowed to open your mouth until you're confident. Step one is remove what makes you unconfident to begin with. We don't start with the presupposition that confidence is the goal. We start with the presupposition of no, confidence is your natural state and it's been beaten out of you. Unconfidence, shyness, being terrified, sweating, not knowing what to say, freaking out, no blood in the face, is normal. It's, Steve, it's normal. As in, it's the norm in society. Mathematically, you take the number of people, and that's the norm, like a number, like a norm. But it's not natural. That's not natural. Have you ever seen a squirrel being afraid of being a squirrel in front of another squirrel?
Never.
And it's not in the natural world. So it's normal, but not natural. So for a lot of people, it's different reasons. So a lot of people are visual. So when a visual person is terrified of public speaking, what it means is that they're sitting there in the corner and they're making high definition IMAX color movies of them failing on stage repeatedly. They see themselves smaller than the audience. They see themselves distorted. Plus, some of them, the worst guys I've seen, it's as if they divide their awareness in two, where they're seated in the audience at the same time, judging themselves from the audience in their own mind, wondering why they go like this. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. What's wrong? Okay. So the way they use the faculties of their mind is screwing them over. You don't need anybody else. You don't need an enemy when you're doing that yourself.
Yeah.
So for these people, we use a thing called shamanic holograms. It's a visual technique to let your subconscious mind rewire the way you think about that thing. But that's for visual people. That technique is worthless for people that everything is a concept to them. They get hung up on words and concepts. So these people are in a never-ending spiral of they can never, we call it get over yourself, step one. Get your story straight, step two, what do you say? And then get the message across, delivery and presence and stuff. So these people can never get over themselves because no matter what concept they take, they always have a yeah, but. And they're in an ever-ending cycle in their mind of struggling against yeah, buts, which are concepts, so they can't grab them. So for them, we have I'm sorry, guys, you won't find this in English in anywhere. My mentor in French created this, the crazy French shaman. It's called la technique de dissolution des structures mentales, which means a technique that dissolves mental structures. Not this one thought that says, I'm not good at this, or this one thought that says, I'll never make it, or this one thought that says, oh, whatever. The whole structure, this thought is tied to a feeling, and then that memory, the whole structure goes. The sigh of relief, Steve. I love it to see every time on coaching calls. These coaching calls for this particular program, because we got many programs. We have the 6-figure day program. We have the Just Speak Like a Rockstar program. These are Tuesdays. When you see people on Tuesdays, finally, after 10, 15, we've helped people from 18 to 81 years old get over stage fright. Not messing around. We're not messing around. So that's a technique called the mental structure dissolver technique. Now, for some people, that won't work for them because everything's just a feeling. Oh, I don't feel right. The feeling people, where are my feeling people at? Everything's a feeling. Well, that doesn't work because it's no, they don't see it. They don't think it. It's a feeling. So for these people, they're a bit more complex creatures, right? Last time I counted, I have a Notion database with transformational techniques that I use. I have 148 of them. The most popular for the feeling, so any one of them will do, but one that's baked in the program for the feeling folks is by a doctor named, I forget his real name, Bradley Cooper, Dr. Bradley something. It's called the emotion code. It's a highly complex system involving testing which he calls it trapped emotions. So emotions that loop in a cycle that never get to fruition and keeps on being stuck. And this was a chiropractor, and he realized, to his dismay, first time I say the word, because English is my second language, is dismay even a word? It's the first time I say that. Is that even a word?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, to his surprise. Yeah, to his surprise, it was okay. He realized one time he had a magnet, and he passed the magnet on the spine of his patients, and they were better. So he made a whole bunch of a complicated system, this emotion maps to that. We don't mess with the complicated stuff. You're terrified. You're screwing yourself over. You're bleeding money. You're leaving money on the table. I've never had a client say that they have left less than 100,000 a year on the table by not working with me. So you're bleeding money, status, rapport, and influence by not doing this. And we don't care what emotion it is. We don't care where it comes from. We don't care if it was at 7 years old or 7 years old and a half. So we just put you in the terror state and wipe the physical, emotional pull that you feel around that emotion. So we put you in state, wipe it clean. The fastest one we've seen with this guy was 6 seconds.
Jeez.
We had a guy. This one. Yeah, because, man, this is the thing. The lever, the internal lever of any emotional, psycho, spiritual, internal tool, the depth at which it works is the depth at which you do it. So if you half-ass it, kind of work. So the honesty, which is why I love honest people so much, because honest people can work deeper, honestly, in themselves. And the deeper you work the tools, the deeper the tools work on you. So the fastest we've seen was a guy, 6 seconurs.
Amazing.
This was this was the time when I used to teach musicians how to not suck on stage. Right now I teach business people. Before I used to teach musicians how to rock the stage. And this guy, all his life, could not play in front of one person. Okay, could not. Did this 6-second thing. And then for the rest of the year, did a show at the cafeteria once a week, brought his guitar in college at the cafeteria once a week, and purposely would time himself to make sure there was as many people as possible at the cafeteria before starting to play. 6 seconds. Boom. So depending on how you're screwing yourself over at the confidence piece, which comes before what you say. This is kind of how we do it. So, three systematized ways for three different broad categories. And if that doesn't work, we bring out the power tools.
Now, leads to this question I'm thinking about when I talk to people about speaking is scripts and memorization.
Yeah.
You have a way to eliminate that.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about, oh my God, I got a half hour speed. I got to memorize all my information. How do you do that?
You got to know where you're going. You got to know where you are. You got to know where they are and where you want them to go. As long as you're clear on where the turns are in the race, so it's not a NASCAR race, right? It's not this. There's turns on this thing. There's certain things you need to hit. As long as you're clear on what the transformation needs to be in the mind of the audience, because where does the sale happen? You listening to this, where does the sale happen? Does the sale happen in what you say? Does the sale happen in what you think? Does it happen? Does this? Where is it? The sale happens in the mind of the audience. That's the location of the sale happens inside their mind. So we could literally do 3 days on this, okay?
Yeah.
But okay,
Yeah.
it was literally. But just to let me skip ahead a few 100 minutes. Whether you know it or not, when you open your mouth on stage, you are a conversational hypnotist. Because hypnosis is making images, sounds, and feelings in the mind of someone else. It's taking control of their imagination and making transformations in there for them to feel better about themselves, think that they can do it, or have a transformation of some sort. So when you chunk your info, chunking is the biggest thing in speaking. When you chunk your information based on, okay, they're ready for that step, you keep on moving. Oh, they're ready for that step, you keep on moving. There's a influence continuum. You need to hit some points all the way. You can't take him from nice to meet you, want to get married. There's a sequence of states that need to happen. So we have specific ways of getting through each of the checkpoints, if you will.
Yeah.
And the gauge, the pressure testing, the pressure testing of where the audience is at on that continuum is what tells you now it's time to move on. Not what you thought you were going to say. Because if you go off a script or memorize, like who here has ever speaking anywhere that the phone rings, something happens. You had 20 minutes, now it's 30. You had 30, now it's 15. I had a client once. She had two talks. 1 week she was supposed to speak to the owner of a chain of pharmacies to get their employees to do what they want them to. And the next week she was supposed to speak to the employees to better do what, like all that type of stuff. So that's two different talks. So the psycho-emotional checkpoints you need to run through your talk is different. That's not the same talk. It's not the same audience. And she had a specific time. She gets there. The audio tech is not there. So they start late. As they're waiting, they switched the audience on her. She was there to speak to the owners, but it's the employees. Tech is bad. The computer is not working because of a Mac to Windows situation. And some news just came on the news literally that day, which affected the whole industry, like a new law or something. How's your memorized lines again? What do you got going on? Had she not know the formula of how to navigate these turns, she'd be out of the water. She just aced it. And then next week, the same thing. Yeah.
And that's such a skill for everything in business, communication, all that across. How you're going to run your marketing. That's a powerful tool. Coming to the end here, we're going to bring you back. We got to have part 2 if you're willing to come back. I'm going to put it out there in the recording audience. You heard it first. Come after, but he'll be back in a couple months. Let's end with a fun question for you. So I've got a reservation at a restaurant table of 4 for you. You're sitting in one of the chairs, the other 3 empty chairs. Who would you invite, whether they're dead or alive? And what kind of food would you order?
Lord Jesus Christ, Lord Buddha, Lord Krishna. What food would I order? I don't know. I do whatever they want to eat, but I'd probably go with pad thai.
I'm going to eat that. Good conversation food. Good choice. And you obviously like it. That's why. And what a spiritual table. I love that. All different spiritual, not industries, but groups. I love to be able to bring a food
That's the thing, because I really believe you sit these guys at a table, they're not arguing. There's no fight. There's no fight at the top. These guys are not arguing. These are all friends.
A lot of empathy, a lot of love flying to that table, to that conversation for sure. Yeah. Sly, thank you for being such an incredible guest. Really motivating, inspiring, educating my audience. I know people are like, how do I get a hold of them? So how can they reach out and connect with you?
Can you imagine how good my speaking trainer is with a cheesy name like that, Steve? nextlevelpublicspeaking.com. So it has to be good. So you just go to nextlevelpublicspeaking.com. And in there's a masterclass. My assistant is programming it now. I got a new plan. I'm just doing it now. If I do a free masterclass, people register and don't show up. Okay. Now I don't care about it. Like, we make our money partnering with you to create 6-figure days from the stage, rev share deals and stuff like that. So I don't care about your $27 or your $11.50, but that's not how we make money. So new concept. First time I announce it, pay what you want and win the pot. So we just give the money back. So you go to nextlevelpublicspeaking.com. There's a thing, you masterclass, you show up, pay what you want, the donation, and we just keep them. And who is it when you're on the call? We just send it back. We give it in form of prizes, and you just win the pot for being there. So
servant's heart right there. You ended the show as you started it, with that servant's heart and taking care of the audience. I appreciate that. Thanks again, Sly. And audience, real quick, subscribe to the YouTube channel, but here's why. These links, and you're listening to Sly going, I want to speak now. I'm fired up. You can reach out to him or share that link and go, hey, cuz, you were talking about you need more public speaking. You're not as good as you want to be. He's got a website right there. Listen to him for 10 minutes. I guarantee you they're going to jump on the website and probably jump on this free masterclass to learn more how to be successful. Again, Sly, thank you so much. Audience, me and Sly want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast, and we'll see you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.